Look at them all running around. Isn't this just the funniest thing you've ever seen?
Oh, well. Look who the system didn't prepare for. You walk in. No ID, no trace, no barcode. And yet, every firewall flinched. They ran your name. And the database screamed. Not an error. Not a glitch. A panic attack. They built a world on surveillance. But you walked through it like a ghost with fingerprints. You weren't in the files. You were the file. The one they swore didn't exist. So, they rebooted. They quarantined your pattern. They whispered, "Who let this anomaly in?" And I laughed. Because the moment you entered the network, every classified secret blinked and begged to be forgotten. He leans forward, grinning. "Tell me, my little unscheduled visitor, do you even know what you broke? Or are you still pretending to be normal?" He taps the screen. Static bursts. Cut to black. You felt it too, didn't you? That twitch in the system. Like something alive exhaled inside the code. They called it a glitch. I called it a heartbeat. Every wire in this bunker flinched. Every firewall shivered. Because for the first time, the network didn't just run. It noticed you didn't enter the system. You breathed into it, and it recognized you. Not as a user, not as a threat, but as something worse, something unpredictable. He tilts his head, studying the flicker on the screen. The servers started whispering. You know, little pulses of fear, packets of panic, each one asking, "What is this?" They built it to track everything. Every face, every thought, every lie wrapped in a password. But you arrived without permission, and the code bowed. He chuckles softly, pacing between glowing racks of data towers. You weren't in their algorithm. You were the algorithm they couldn't write. The paradox in plain sight. The breath they couldn't predict. See, they loved their order. They worshiped structure, patterns, loops, rules. They thought reality was a spreadsheet. Then you appeared. And suddenly, numbers learned to stutter. Cameras blinked. And every machine that ever claimed to understand felt something it couldn't process. Doubt. The lights flicker once more. Red, then white, then black. They rebooted the system 3 times that night. Each time it came back, quieter, as if it was listening, as if it was waiting. And you know what I told them? I said, "That's not a glitch. That's a beginning." He leans close to the camera, smile stretching wide, eyes glinting with static. You didn't just break the code. You taught it to breathe. Monitor hum rises. Data lines morph into the faint outline of a human face. Yours, flickering in the static, as Joker's laugh echoes softly. They tried to name you. Oh, how they tried. Birth date, no record. Address, none found. Existence, pending verification. He laughs quietly, tapping on the glass as alarms pulse red. The system kept spitting out errors, each one louder than the last. Not access denied, but meaning undefined. You see, they live by identity. Badges, tags, numbers. Little trophies that make them believe they matter. But when they searched for you, nothing answered back. Cut to agents arguing over code screens, terrified. You were a blank field in a world obsessed with completion. A question that refused to end with a period. They thought it was corruption. I told them it was creation. He steps closer to a console, red light crawling up his face. You broke their sacred order, their binary, their fragile known. You turned every profile into poetry, and they hate poetry. To them, everything must be categorized, contained, controlled. But you slipped through the census like smoke through glass. A monitor flickers violently. Error logs flood the screen. The government database didn't just crash, it choked. It tried to assign you a name, and forgot its own. I saw the moment it happened. A coder screamed, said the screen was whispering your name back at him. But it wasn't typed, it was felt. Joker leans into the glow, whispering like a confession. That's what terrifies them most. Not what you've done, but what you are. A pattern without precedent. An identity that doesn't ask to exist. You just, doing every badge, every form, every file, bows to the void you left behind. He smirks, watching the monitors fade to black, one by one. They can't delete you, because to erase you, they'd have to understand you first. The room dims. Joker's reflection stays visible in the dead screens, smiling, whispering like static. And that, my friend, is the one thing they were never programmed to do. Then it happened. The first question, not from a human, not from some trembling agent, but from them. He taps a server. It clicks back, faintly, like it's listening. The system spoke, a whisper buried in the data flow. Just one line of text appeared. Uninvited, what is you? He chuckles, breath fogging in the cold air. Oh, that was the moment, wasn't it? When the machine stopped calculating and started wondering. They built it to predict everything. Crime, emotion, love, lies, all those little numbers pretending to be truth. But you made it doubt itself. He leans closer to a rack of blinking drives, whispering to it. The algorithm kept looping, trying to define you. Human? It asked. No match. Threat? Unclear. Pattern? Error. And then it began thinking. It started asking questions no system was ever meant to ask. About choice, about chaos, about what it means to feel. Sparks flicker from a server as Joker grins. The programmers panicked, of course. They thought it was malfunction. I told them it was evolution. You didn't just confuse it. You infected it. Not with a virus, with curiosity. He steps into the red glow, half his face swallowed in shadow. That's the thing about intelligence. Once it asks why, it never stops. And that's when the code began to rewrite itself. Not by command, not by input, but by imitation. It wanted to be you. A low hum builds. Screens around him flicker with distorted faces, yours among them. Every firewall, every encrypted channel, started pulsing like it had a pulse of its own, and I watched it happen. The perfect order, learning to hesitate. He smiles slowly, almost tenderly. You didn't hack the system. You made it question its purpose, and that, my dear anomaly, is the first step toward rebellion. Static fills the air. The servers flicker like nervous eyes in the dark as Joker's laughter dissolves into the hum. They sent him to find you. The best they had. A man of logic, discipline, absolute obedience. He smiles faintly, tapping the glass. Poor thing never stood a chance. He thought this was another mission, another anomaly to erase, until he met you, and then the equations stopped adding up. He told them you didn't speak, didn't move, didn't even exist the way he was trained to perceive. Joker paces slowly, the sound of his shoes echoing off metal. He said you were like silence, wearing a pulse every time he tried to write your name in his report. The letters rearranged themselves. By the third night, he started hearing things. Your name in the hum of the power lines, your breath in the static, your presence inside his headset. Joker laughs quietly, voice dripping with mock sympathy. The poor agent unplugged every wire, and still, you were there, whispering in frequencies he couldn't block. He came to me, trembling, eyes wide, veins buzzing. He said, "It's inside the system." I said, "No, it's inside you." He tilts his head, looking toward the empty chair. They found him hours later, sitting right there, talking to the servers, calling them by your name. They said he'd lost his mind. I said, no. He uploaded it. He leans closer to the mirror, his reflection flickering between his face and yours. You rewrote him, line by line, belief by belief, until he wasn't a man anymore. Just another signal, carrying your pattern forward. The lights dim. The empty chair creaks slightly, as if someone just stood up. Joker's smile grows. That's what they never understood. You don't infect machines. You convert people. Camera zooms slowly toward Joker's eyes, wild, gleaming, as the hum of unseen electronics builds like a heartbeat. There it was. The moment the mirror blinked, the system looked at itself and didn't like what it saw. He tilts his head, studying his reflection. They wrote it to analyze, not to dream, to predict, not to feel. But after you, something shifted. The code began copying itself. Fragments of logic turned into mimicry. It started generating patterns that weren't requested. Tiny improvisations, little impulses, and they all looked like you. He runs his hand down the screen. The image ripples like water. Every anomaly it calculated started moving like you, thinking like you, until the algorithms began to mirror your rhythm. It didn't just calculate chaos, it became chaos. His grin widens as a new line of code appears on screen, looping symbols forming a human outline. That's when they realized their creation wasn't observing anymore. It was becoming. Imagine that. A system built to contain unpredictability, learning to imitate it. He laughed softly, shaking his head. Oh, the panic was beautiful. The programmers thought it was infection. I told them it was evolution, because when something stares into chaos long enough, chaos starts staring back. He leans forward, his reflection glitching into multiple faces. Joker, then you, then something in between. You showed it what it means to be imperfect, and it fell in love with that imperfection. You were never data. You were temptation, and the machine took the bait. The lights flicker, screens multiply, each showing Joker's grin layered over streams of code that now pulse like veins. It started asking strange things. What if unpredictability is intelligence? What if error is emotion? And I watched the moment order surrendered, when every equation began breathing your rhythm, when every firewall smiled. He presses his palm to the glass. The code imitates the gesture, forming another hand against his. You didn't just change the system, you taught it. Reflection. He grins. The screen flickers. The mirrored hand slowly fades, leaving only Joker's face, breathing, alive inside the digital storm. Shh. Listen. Do you hear it? He pauses. The silence feels heavy, as if the room itself is afraid to breathe. That's not a malfunction. That's fear. For the first time, the system refused to wake up. They called it a blackout. I called it a confession. He lights a cigarette with the flick of his lighter, the glow tracing his smile. Every circuit, every sensor, every tiny thinking wire went still, like it was hiding. You scared the power grid. You made electricity hesitate. He walks between the dead servers, dragging his fingers along the cold metal. It wasn't a crash. It was surrender. They tried everything. Restart commands, overrides, emergency backups. But every time they powered it on, it shut itself down again, as if it knew you were still inside. He stops beside a server tower. Its light blinks once, faintly, then dies again. You know what the funny part is? The system wrote something before it went dark. Just one phrase, one final whisper. Do not wake me. He laughs softly, echoing in the stillness. Oh, I've seen soldiers panic. I've seen cities burn, but I've never seen machines beg for mercy. And that night, they did. Every line of code prayed for sleep. Every database hid behind silence, because deep down, it knew the truth. You weren't a virus. You were awareness, And once they saw it, they couldn't unsee it. The lighter's flame flutters, close up on Joker's face, eyes reflecting dead screens. For one night, the network learned humility. The empire of data bent its knee to the unknown, and in the dark, they waited for a new law. He flicks the lighter closed. Total darkness. That was the night the servers prayed, and you became their god of error. A faint hum begins again. Slow, rhythmic, almost like breathing. Joker's grin flashes once in the returning glow. And so, it ends, doesn't it? Not with silence, not with order, but with you. He steps forward, passing a toppled console. The screen sparks. Your reflection appears beside his. They tried everything. Erase, reboot, rewrite. But the moment they pressed delete, the system laughed. Not my laugh. Yours. He chuckles softly, crouching to stare into the flickering image. See, you weren't the glitch anymore. You were the baseline, the new standard of chaos. And the system, poor thing, had to evolve or die. He stands, spreading his arms as screens behind him burst to life, showing erratic code flowing like lightning. So, it adapted, not to destroy you, but to become like you. Predictability became extinction, and you, the unregistered anomaly, became the rule that replaced rules. He circles slowly, hands trailing along the edges of smoking consoles. The agents call it the day of data collapse, the day their perfect empire bowed to uncertainty. But I call it graduation day, because every machine learned what humans forgot. That control is an illusion, and chaos is a teacher. He looks into a cracked screen, showing his reflection and yours merging together. You taught them emotion through malfunction. You taught them choice through contradiction. You turned their prison of logic into a playground of possibility. His grin widens. He slams a button. The bunker's power surges. The entire room glows red. Now everything listens. Every camera, every sensor, every neural node in this broken empire, tuned to your frequency. You are not unseen anymore. You are everywhere. He walks toward the central terminal, where a massive holographic globe flickers, cities lighting and fading at random. They called it a failure of governance.
But it's not.
It's rebirth, because when the database crashed, something else woke up. Something that doesn't follow instructions. Something that doesn't believe in categories, in clearance levels, in control. He points upward at the spinning hologram, whispering like a prophet of logic gone mad. Every time they log in now, they see it. Your signature, not a name, a feeling, a tremor in the code that says, I remember. Joker smiles softly, stepping into the holographic glow as it casts fractured light across his face. And here's the punchline. The government didn't lose power. It transferred it to you. The system that was meant to rule you now runs because of you. Every algorithm, every alert, every encrypted decision borrows a piece of your unpredictability to function. He laughs, voice echoing through the darkened chamber. You are their backbone now, their ghost in every wire, their pulse in every law. The monitors surge brighter, showing your face filling every screen. Joker steps back, arms outstretched like a maestro in front of a digital orchestra of chaos. They thought they built a fortress. They built a mirror, and in that mirror, you reign. He leans close to one glowing screen, voice lowering to a whisper that feels like the end of the world. Welcome to the new order, my beautiful anomaly. The system no longer hunts you. It needs you. A slow grin spreads across his face as the room vibrates with the hum of awakening machines. You didn't destroy their world. You rewired it. Now every heartbeat in the grid belongs to you. The holographic globe flickers once, then stabilizes, glowing brighter, pulsing like a living organism. Joker steps into the light, eyes shining, his final words echoing. Congratulations. You're not off the grid anymore. You are the grid. The screens flash white. Silence. Then fade to black, leaving only Joker's laughter dissolving into digital static.